good morning. So I wanted to come on and share my card decks that I have. So first I figured I would start off with how I choose my card decks, and then I'll kind of show you them. My thought was, I know some of you are looking to buy some decks for yourself or your deck, or some of you have lots of decks and some of you have none. So I wanted to show you what I have to kind of get you thinking about what might be best for you. So the best way, I think, to pick a deck is if you can go somewhere that has them, and especially places where like they have the sample deck and you can look through. That's my favorite way to pick a deck. I have two that I actually picked that way. So, and it was both times when I was at Praagh, which is like a yoga retreat kind of place in Western Mass. My other ones I did not pick in person. So these are the only two I picked in person. This was my first ever one. And honestly, I don't even know how I picked it. Because I feel like I had no clue what I was doing when I picked this one, but that's totally fine. That's kind of the fun part of it. I think he had a book that went along with this, which I thought was really neat, yeah, so I like that. So I basically, this one has a better like picking story, but basically for this one, I just looked at all of them, and this one just kind of like called to me more than the other ones. That's kind of what you really want to do. I don't think I was able to look through the book or actually like touch the cards for this one, which is why I don't think I have as good of a story. This one is, I more recently got when I just went to see Gabby Bernstein a few months ago. And the thing that I was working on releasing, that I'm still always working on, is, it's going to sound so silly if you haven't heard me say it before, is the fear of the dark. Fear of dark. The dark, fear of being in the dark, just fear of what's going to come out in the dark. Am I going to see something in the dark? I've been afraid of the dark since forever. Like, have to have night lights, cannot handle being in the dark. I will say, in the past few months, I have gotten so much better with that. But it's still there a little bit. However, when I was there, that was like huge on my mind. That's really what I was working on. And I was going through all the cards, and I didn't see anything I really wanted. I really was hoping I could find some sort of angel deck while I was there, because I was just starting to learn more about angels and things like that. And there were either there weren't any angel decks, or there were none that really talked to me. So this one, so what I did, because I had a sample deck, I just kind of was like moving them around. You can shuffle in however you want to shuffle. Some people wait till cards pop out. I think I said this on my last video. I just decide no matter when I stop is going to be the right time. So I'm not like stressing about it. And I pulled a card, and the one that came out, it's funny, I just got communication, which is funny because I'm talking to all of you. This is pretty. The one that came out was all about darkness. And I was like, whoa. It was like, don't be afraid of the darkness in you, or something like that. And I was like, okay, this deck is for me, and I bought it. So it's really fun when you can have an experience like that. I love this deck. This is like when I feel like someone really needs like a deep message, like they're going through some crap, and they're just not feeling good about it, which who feels good when they're going through crap? I love this deck for that. I think it just like gets straight to the point, and the pictures are like, they're different. And it says, what are they called? Soul, cards for the soul, activation cards for the soul. I just feel like there's so much like wisdom in these. So these are pretty deep. I don't want to say I wouldn't suggest this as a first deck, because if you're called to them, like, listen to that. So they're all kind of like different looking, and they're definitely like pretty deep, but there's a lot of wisdom in them, and I absolutely love that. Normally I pull one of these a week and like focus on it throughout the week. Lately I've been doing more like one a day or one every other day, just because I feel like things are moving kind of fast. But it's funny, there's still some that I've never gotten, even though I pull them all the time. So I really like those, and I like how they like connected with me. So that's really cool. These ones from before, they do have a pretty back. And he does have a book that's all about the soul's journey. I think there was a lot about kind of what happens to your soul after you pass kind of things too, which was interesting. These ones are a little more like straightforward, so they have like a word on them with like a little saying, and I think these are really good too. I honestly haven't used them in a long time. I think just because I've had them for so long. I go through kind of like periods of time using one a lot and then kind of switching. But yeah, there's just so many different things on it. And what I like is you can kind of pull them for whatever you want. I could think about like, okay, what do I most need to hear today? And I could pull one. I could think about what is my brain going through today? What does my soul want to tell me today? I kind of like asking those kind of questions. What energy am I looking to move through today? What's going on with me? And there's a lot of spreads in here too. And this tells you all about like each one a little more in depth. And I think it tells you different spreads, because I think that's when I first learned about, maybe not. But like you can do, yeah, there's different spreads. So you can do, a 1-card spread. It teaches you like 3 cards, which is like the past, present, future kind of spreads, which are kind of neat. Like, what were you moving through? What are you moving through now? What is your next thing you're moving towards? So yeah, and these are pretty too. I like pretty cards. So yeah, those were, get it back in my first. And I personally just leave all my decks in their boxes. I know a lot of people will put them in like bags or different kinds of things. This is one of, I think, the best like starter decks you can get personally. If you want something that's like pretty and like affirmation type things, like something to pull every morning, I think these are really cool. You've probably seen me post these. But the artwork is really neat. And then there's just like a really nice affirmation or saying. There's no guidebook with this. You don't need it. It's just right on there. I think this is like such a pretty one to like pull and like leave out somewhere. So it's kind of like out all day and you can see it. But they're really nice. It does go along with her book, The Universe Has Your Back. Like there's ideas in the cards that are also in the book, which if these look awesome to you, I would totally recommend The Universe Has Your Back. That's my favorite book by her. It's also the first one I read, so I don't know if that's why it's my favorite. But I love these cards. I think they're so pretty, and there's just like a nice message on them. So if you want something like pretty and like a nice affirmation, I love pulling these for people too, because like what does it say here? 52 inspiring messages to help you open up to the power of the universe. That's exactly what it is. Okay, and then I think this was the next one I got. This is the most expensive one I've ever bought. I don't even remember. This girl sells a bunch of stuff. I've gotten rings from her. Is that all I've gotten? Rings. I might have got like a book about crystals or something. But she has this deck, which I want to say it was like $50 or something. But I really, look how thick this is, right? So it's a lot. There's 74 oracle cards in here. I think I have them. I'm not going to mix these up. I think they're still in order for when I was doing the, chakra stuff, however you want to say it. So this deck is awesome because there's so much in it. So the messages maybe aren't so obvious. So like, say you pulled a random one, and you can tell Owen always gets his blippy time when I do my live videos. Okay, I turned it on for you. Go ahead, go have some beans. So like this one, blippy balls. I think him saying blippy balls is gonna be in every single one of my videos, which I'm totally fine with. Okay, blippy balls is on. Go see. So like this card, Scallop, says travel, adventure, change. So like there's not a lot on there. It's a nice like little bit of something. But then in the booklet, there's a lot more. So it's all organized. This is going to take me a minute to find. It's organized by all the different types of cards because you can separate them out. There's like moon cards. There are like these are shells. Here we go. Last one. And they're in alphabetical order. Scallop. Okay. So like this one, it gives you a mantra with each one, which I think is really neat. So this is, I learn and grow from new experiences. Then there will be a message of like what that card is about. And then there's always like a ritual that you can do. So there is a lot in this deck. I find this deck's also awesome because you can learn more about a lot of things by pulling them and seeing what the card's about. So because there's like, I really need to talk to someone to know how to pronounce this correctly. Like I'm just gonna say chakra. I'm pretty sure it's chakra, but whatever. If you want to learn more about them, when you look through the guidebook, you will learn about all of them. There are a ton of crystal cards, so you will learn what the crystals are in here. There's element cards, so you'll kind of learn the different elements. There's another crystal. There's candle cards, so you'll kind of learn what the different colored candles mean. And then there's moon cards, which I really like. So you can do so much with this deck because you can take everything out. So you could take all the moon cards out and do like a spread just on those, or pull cards just on those. They're not as like straightforward as like this kind of a thing to pull, but I think it's really fun. I think there's just so much you can do. Like I'm sure there's so much I can do with this that I haven't even done yet. So I did really like that for that, but it's a little more than just like the affirmation on it. These ones someone gave me. So these are self-care cards. I think she makes other ones too. Now I honestly would not have bought these myself. They don't look like something that would like draw me in. And honestly, for a long time, I did not use them for anything. The pictures aren't really like something I would typically be drawn to. They're pretty, but they're not like, so there's a lot of nudity in these ones. Whatever. They're pretty, but they're just not like the kind of pretty thing I would be drawn to. So, but there is like one word on that one side, and then the back has like, there we go. The back has kind of like a little more to it. There's no guidebook with this, but what I found, I do like pulling these for other people. So I totally could be pulling these for myself. Of course, like I need these messages too, and maybe I will try pulling them a little more now and see what happens. But yeah, if they look like something that you're into, I think the biggest thing is just. If you see a deck and you're like, ooh, I like that, like that means the deck's for you. If you see it and you're like, I don't really care, probably not for you. Unless if it's given to you, then maybe it's for me. So like for example, this one, the pictures on this one, like totally drew me in. And when I'm looking for decks, I will go on YouTube and I will go on Amazon. Because YouTube, you can find a lot. Can you help? Flippy balls. On YouTube, you can find a lot of videos of people showing you. See if that works. Showing you their decks. You can really like see the pictures and everything. And also on Amazon. No! Oh goodness. Maybe from the beginning we'll make it right. Also on Amazon, people will post pictures of the decks, so you can kind of get a feel for what they look like. But to me, these were just like absolutely gorgeous. Like, and there's just so much in all of them. So I actually used these when I first started, like working on reading cards. They're not tarot cards, so they're not really used for that. They're oracle cards. However, I had fun like using them and making like different spreads. So like what's going on right now or what message about this. Hey, Jessica. But these ones I thought were so pretty. And there is a guidebook with these. So it gives you a little message on the bottom. So culmination, maybe I should actually pull one. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it actually so I'm going to say this is for everyone that ends up watching this video. So if you end up watching it all the way to here, it is for you. So I would just shuffle in my head. I'm thinking, okay, what message do the people of this video need for their highest good? Something like that. And then when I stop, I just decide whenever I stop, it's going to be the right time. Like I said, some people wait for cards to fly out. Totally fine. Some people shuffle like a real deck. Usually I do that. Some people shuffle like how I just did. Some people cut the deck. Whatever feels right to you. Ooh, this one's pretty. So this says acceptance of love. Isn't that just so pretty? I feel like I just want to like walk in all these cards. So acceptance of love. And then depending on what you were thinking about or asking about, if you were asking about something specific, I would first, hey Andrea, here, I'll just show it again. I would first think how it relates to what I was asking about. And sometimes you won't even need to open the guidebook. It'll just be like, whoa, I totally need to be more accepting of love. And maybe that makes sense in your head. Then that's awesome. If you want to read the guidebook to get a little more info or just to see, sometimes I like to just read it to see what sticks out and what doesn't. So like sometimes you'll read it and you'll like one little part of it or all of it. So I'm just going to read it so you can see what it is. So acceptance of love. This image is a representation of the harmony of opposites, masculine and feminine. You have the ability to give love freely to yourself and to others. It is important to understand that you are whole, complete, and perfect now and will enhance the life of another. Love can happen. Love is the truth of all situations. Love the soul embodied inside you. Express more love in your life and allow yourself to feel loved. Everything happens exactly when it is supposed to. In that order, everything that happens is what is supposed to take place. You bring a bright light and individuality into this world. I can feel for sure that is going to be for you ladies that see that. So yeah, awesome. I really like these. I think they're so pretty, and I also think there's a lot of wisdom in these too, and they're also nice and simple and easy. Let's see, Andrea. Sometimes if I'm working with cards I'm very familiar with, I'm really drawn to the book because there's a piece you need to hear. Yes, I totally agree. I always think first, okay, what does this mean to me? And then I always open the book because there's usually like at least one little snippet in there that I'm like, whoa, that's what I needed to hear. I agree. I like the guidebooks. I know some people will say like throw them out, but I really appreciate them. And then this is my last like real one I'm going to show you. I bought this one for Henry. It's a children's deck, which I thought was cool. I just got it on Amazon. And I remember someone's review was like, yes, this is a children's deck, but it is full of a lot of wisdom. And it's so right. It'll be interesting when he gets older. So he'll pull them now, like, just for fun, it's fun to see what he pulls out. But once he's older, it'll be interesting when he uses this a little more. But these ones are all, you can tell, 4-year-olds been playing with them. So they are all in animal, and then there's words under it, which is cool. So crow, believe in the magic. Deer, be kind to others, be kind to yourself and to others. So they look really simple. Rabbit, ask for help. But sometimes that's all we need is like a super simple message. Lion, ask for what you want. And I'll look up the lion one. So lion, ask for what you want. And then they do have a guidebook, which is cute. Okay, so it'll kind of tell you, I'm just going to read it so you can kind of see what it sounds like. Whenever you want something, simply ask for it, as in, please pass the salt. It works best when you use those words, rather than trying to hint or have someone guess what you want. You can even ask for simple things like help with what to wear for school, or when you would like a friend to play a game with. You can even ask to spend special time with one of your parents or for a friend or relative to come to your soccer game. And you don't need to roar like I do, just ask. Just as you can ask for whatever you want, the person you ask has the right to say no. You have the right to ask, but it's also important to respect and accept the other person's right to say no. And this especially includes your mother and father. Sometimes it's even okay to ask a second time, but if you do, be polite rather than demanding or insisting on getting your way. And if you don't get your way, let it go. Such good stuff for a kid to read, right? Hey, Christina. And then there's always an activity, which is cute. So the activities say, I can't talk today. Pay close attention to opportunities to ask for what you want and do so politely and respectfully. When you try something that seems too difficult, ask for help rather than getting frustrated or giving up. Make a list of 3 things that you would like to have happen and ask Spirit, the angels, Lion Spirit, or any other spirit guides for help in making these happen. So all of them have like that little bit. I used these last week on my personal page or was it 2 weeks ago? I think I forgot on Friday. For people to pick a card, and I really liked how just like simple and direct the messages were. And I find they're like a little playful too, probably because they're like kid cards. So those are my decks that I use. I do have 2 decks that I bought that like, you pooped? Oh, okay. Real life. I do have 2 decks that I bought. I don't even know where they are. That I like started like shuffling, and I just didn't get a good feeling from them. So that's something to like be cognizant of too. Like if you do look and you think you're gonna like a deck, you might not, and that's totally okay. And those will be something that I gift to someone else. So those are all my kind of like oracle not tarot cards. So yeah, I hope that helped a little. And if you have questions, totally let me know. I'm gonna go change the diaper and give him milk. Can you say bye? Bye. Bye. Say have a good day. Bye. I love you. Bye.